All right, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking a massive, absolute game changer of a corporate shift happening over in the healthcare tech space. We're going to break down a major corporate announcement. This dropped on May 18th, 2026, from a heavyweight in the health imaging world, Pro Medicus Limited. We're going to map out exactly what this deal entails, who the key players are, and, the crucial technological leap it represents for the entire medical imaging industry. Let's get right into it.
90 million Australian dollars. I mean, wow. We are not talking about some routine software patch or minor upgrade here. This is a huge transformational enterprise contract. That $90 million figure, that's the baseline value of a brand new 7-year agreement. And if you follow the enterprise IT world, you know that locking in a 7-year commitment speaks absolute volumes. It shows immense trust from the buyer, and honestly, it signals the sheer scale of the infrastructure overhaul they're about to tackle. This transaction value is really the beating heart of today's explainer. So let's explore exactly what all that money is actually buying.
So who's on the receiving end of this massive deal? Well, that would be Pro Medicus Limited. And they definitely aren't some new startup. They've actually been a foundational player in healthcare informatics way back since 1983. But the real pivot point for the specific tech we're looking at today, that happened in January 2009 when Pro Medicus acquired Visage Imaging. That single acquisition totally transformed them into a global provider of leading-edge medical imaging solutions, really setting the stage for the massive, sweeping enterprise deals they're executing today out of their offices in Melbourne, Berlin, and San Diego.
Now, you don't just sign a $90 million contract unless you've got some seriously immense operational needs. Enter the buyer, Boston-based Beth Israel Lahey Health. We are talking about a sprawling network that covers eastern Massachusetts and southern New Hampshire. They operate 14 different hospitals, and that ranges from academic medical centers all the way to teaching and specialty facilities. They boast a roster of over 4,700 physicians and a staggering 39,000 employees. When you have an organization of this sheer magnitude, just making sure that medical images like your X-rays, MRIs, and CT scans can be instantly accessed by thousands of doctors across different campuses, that is a monumental, incredibly high-stakes logistical challenge.
So what's the actual headache they're trying to cure with this contract? Basically, they're completely ditching those localized, fragmented legacy PACS archives and moving straight into a modern, unified cloud environment. Older legacy systems usually mean data silos and, worst of all, super slow retrieval times. This contract completely upends that. And what's interesting is they're doing it on a transactional licensing model. That essentially means the contract has potential upside because it aligns the software's cost directly with its actual real-world usage across all 14 of those hospitals.
The engine driving this whole leap is the Visage 7 Enterprise Imaging Platform. And look, this isn't just your standard run-of-the-mill image viewer. Visage 7 is an ultra-fast, clinically rich, and highly scalable suite that's natively deployable in the cloud. Think about the stakes here for a second. In a severe medical emergency, a physician absolutely does not have time to sit there waiting for a massive high-resolution 3D scan to buffer or download, right? Faster access to those massive medical files can literally save lives. Visage 7 is engineered to stream those files instantly over the cloud, making it a critical, life-saving tool for their daily clinical workflow. Another huge point here is that Beth Israel Lahey Health isn't just buying one piece of the puzzle, they're going all in on a comprehensive, full-stack implementation. They are bringing in all 3 core products of the Visage 7 suite. First up, you've got the viewer, which is the interface the radiologists and physicians actually use to diagnose their patients. Second is the workflow, which is the smart system efficiently routing the exact right images to the exact right specialists. And third, the open archive. This is the massive, highly secure cloud storage vault where millions of these medical images are kept. Buying the full stack means everything speaks the exact same language right out of the box, with zero need to try and duct tape a bunch of different software vendors together.
Okay, so let's break down how a transition this massive actually happens on the ground. The workflow is basically a 3-step playbook. Step 1, the heavy lifting. Visage is going to migrate all of that historical patient data from the old legacy archives straight into the shiny new Visage 7 Open Archive. Step 2, they implement enterprise-wide distribution, making absolutely sure those images are instantly accessible from anywhere in the network. And Step 3, which is honestly the absolute game changer for day-to-day care, Visage 7 integrates natively straight into the electronic health record. That means when a doctor pulls up a patient's chart, boom, the imaging is just right there, fully seamlessly integrated into the medical history. Pro Medicus CEO Dr. Sam Hupert actually weighed in on this, and he views this deal as clear validation of a much larger industry shift. He stated, "They join an ever-growing list of Visage 7 clients to opt for our fully cloud-based platform, which, as a result of our Cloud Pak strategy, is becoming the standard in the North American healthcare IT market." He also pointed out that their pipeline remains really strong across all market segments. So this isn't just an isolated IT win, it's really a strategic play to set a totally new technological standard across the whole North American healthcare sector.
Now, obviously, ripping out and replacing the foundational tech for 14 different hospitals is not something that happens overnight. The planning phase commences immediately. Right after that, we enter the ongoing phase, and this involves the incredibly complex task of migrating years and years of sensitive patient data safely into the cloud. Finally, they've got the targeted go-live date for the new system set for the first quarter of the 2027 calendar year. It is a very carefully phased approach, and that's entirely to ensure absolute zero disruption to critical patient care.
So bringing it all together, what's the ultimate takeaway from this $90 million announcement? Is that the full stack trend is absolutely accelerating. Massive healthcare providers are aggressively moving away from these fragmented, localized legacy systems. Instead, they're opting for these comprehensive, fully cloud-native informatics solutions where the viewer, the workflow, and the archive are all just one seamless package. This deal is basically a prime indicator of exactly where healthcare IT infrastructure is heading next.
All right, before we wrap things up today, I do need to drop a quick but super important reminder. This explainer is strictly for informational and educational purposes, just breaking down public corporate announcements. It is absolutely not financial or investment advice. You should never buy or sell any securities, and that includes shares of Pro Medicus Limited, based on the information we've presented here. Always be sure to do your own research and consult with a licensed financial professional before you make any investment decisions.
And that brings us to the end of our analysis for today. But hey, the conversation doesn't have to stop here. I'm really curious. How do you see cloud computing changing the future of these massive healthcare networks? Are there other challenges, or maybe huge benefits you see on the horizon for hospitals making this kind of transition? Jump down into the comments and let us know what you think. I always love reading through your insights. Thank you so much for joining me today on The Explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next one.